Hey, how you doing? Here I am in the confines of my basement, and got nothing to do. And I haven't had anything to do for quite a long time. So I decided that I would annoy the world by giving commentary for every NHL team from now until it's done, and then maybe I'll start it over again if people like it. Actually, I'll probably do it even if you don't like it, probably. But since that's what pretty much dominates all my thoughts, and it really doesn't do anything for my life at all. I thought, I'll start applying it somewhere. So I'm going to start with the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, and I'm going to go alphabetically all the way through. Um, for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, they've had a really weird year. I don't know why you would fire Boudreau. It must have been some internal reasons because he's just a great coach. They haven't had all that much success in the playoffs, but they haven't did too bad. And I really don't think that was the coach's fault at all. Um, and I hope that they don't either. I think maybe it might have been a general manager trying to save his job. Uh, I don't know. But taking Randy Carlyle is an interesting choice, and they've taken a lot of heat for that. Uh, and for good reason. He's an old school guy, and the league seems to be going away from old school. But something in me makes me want to cheer for Randy Carlyle. Randy Carlyle is one of the nicest people you ever want to meet. He's got a great character. He's one of those he's one of those guys in the league that's been in the league a long time. And for some reason, I don't know about you, but I really cheer for him. I really want him to succeed just because he's such a fun person and he's such a character. Do I think he will? Probably. I don't think so, actually. I don't think he's going to be better than Boudreau. Boudreau is such a progressive thinker. He, uh, he was kind of ahead of his time, and he was able to adapt with whatever you gave him. Which brings me to the Anaheim team that we have now, and what in the Anaheim team that Randy Carlyle has been working with. Um, they've always been basically a one line team. Boudreau never really had a lot of depth to work with. Cogliano, God love him, the guy plays never hurt, or what, he's never hurt. I think he's at like something like 700 and some straight games without an injury. He's a solid player, but he should never be on your top line or your second line. He's a third line player, and he's been playing top line and second line minutes far too often on that team. And that has been their biggest problem, and it's a problem they still have. It hasn't been rectified, in which case this is a general manager problem, not a coaching problem. I know this happens all the time. Coaches take the heat. Coaches take the heat. They usually go through two or three before finally the owner says, okay, you did everything. You've changed the coaches enough, and it's time to move on. And I think it's going to be time to move on after this season. I there's a lot for their future that looks pretty good. I mean, you got Lindholm, Vananen, you have a young Monador coming up there, um, and I can't remember that other guy that they just sent down to the minors, who is going to be good. They have Silverberg up front and Raquel. It looks like they're going to have a pretty decent team to build on for the future, but and Perry's still a young guy. So honestly, I think they really need to get rid of their general manager and start filling in holes from a different perspective. They need somebody who's more progressive, who can look at things a different way. The big thing, though, if you want to know like where a general manager sits, when you sign a guy like Kessler for as much as they did for as long of a term as they did. I think it's like 5 or 6 million, $6 million, and he's 30 some years old. Nothing against Kessler. He's a great for what he does. He's a good, really good second line center, probably better suited on a great team to be a third line center. And he's tough. He's certainly a character guy in the room. He's hard to play against, and all of those things. But it's a lot of money to give when you really need depth on your wings, and you really need basically more depth in general. Um, he's going to be stuck there a while. I don't think it was a very progressive general manager to come up with bringing Kessler in the situation where they in, and it hasn't been successful because of that contract. They haven't been able to bring in the depth that they need, and it's going to continue to be a problem. So I would bring in another general manager. I'd start looking at possibly trading Getzlaff. I hate to say it, and start bringing in more youth before you got to do a complete rebuild. Um, Besides that, I think that they're not a bad team. They've got goaltending. Their goaltending is good. Their defense is looking really good. Maybe if Carlisle can do what he said he was going to do, and he was going to change the way he looks at the game. He was trying to tell them that he can be a more progressive coach, and I'm rooting for him, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think they are going to need to bring another coach in there. They're going to have to start focusing more on where the game is going, possession and stuff like that, and before they're really going to ever take off the way they should. And it's unfortunate in a way because I root for guys like Kessler, and I like that mentality of beat the crap out of them, play tough, be hard to play against. I like all that, but the league is moving away from it, unfortunately. The aggressive, out muscle them type game will always be there, but it's not going to be as dominant as it was before. You're going to see the Floridas and of the world be the more dominant teams in the league. Look at Pittsburgh Penguins is a great example. They are not that type of team. They are a possession team, and they do a really good job of it. So that's my 42% for today. I have no more than 42% to give, so I'm going to have to let you go. I'll be going with Boston, I believe, tomorrow. Have a great day, guys.